Hey now, it's the Rob from 1061 KISS FM, and I got a chance to see a new movie in theaters this weekend called Poltergeist. Now, obviously, this is a remake of the 80s horror classic, or at least scary movie classic, Poltergeist. And it does tell pretty much the same story. This isn't some sort of sequel. It is more of a modern-day retelling of that movie. Now, I have to tell you, going into this, while I do own and I've seen the first Poltergeist movie, I wouldn't call myself a huge fan of it. I did not think it was very scary. It was probably like 2 or 3 years ago that I saw the original movie for the first time. Maybe I was too old for it, or maybe it's been too long since it had been released. But I did not find the first movie very scary, and I also didn't find it to be all that entertaining. And I can say the very same thing about this new telling of Poltergeist, which came out in theaters this past Friday. It wasn't very scary. I thought any of the genuine scares were kind of cheap scares. Like, for example, it might be, they lead you to think that it's some sort of super natural creature, but it's actually just a mouse in a box in a corner. And I hate scares like that. I hate just those cheap startle scares when eventually they do start ramping up the scariness and the supernatural and getting into all the things that are wrong with this house. I won't spoil anything, but obviously, the original Poltergeist, things in this house are obviously haunted. It is more of like a modern-day twist. Like, the old family didn't have, things like cell phones and some of the modern-day technologies that they employ in this movie, but the problem still remains that the overall story of Poltergeist is still not appealing to me. It did not do very well in the box office. I also prefer my scary movies to come out after summertime, in the fall, closer to Halloween, but of course they decided to do it for Memorial Day weekend, and it happened to bomb in the box office. I wish I could say more about why I didn't like it. It just missed for me. I felt no attachment really to any of the characters. It was not practical for me, even though it's set inside of a house with a family, which is actually where I love things like Paranormal Activity. I felt no attachment to anybody in the film. I couldn't tell you anybody's name by the time the movie was over. Nobody in the film was especially likable to me. So I think that if you're going to remake a movie like Poltergeist, which I'm kind of okay with, do it better. And they didn't do that, in my opinion. Also, if you saw the first movie, a lot of this remake is already spoiled for you. They didn't do a whole lot of alterations, just some modern-day twists. But maybe you disagree. You can leave me a comment. I'd have to give this one 1 to 2 thumbs down on Poltergeist. Just my opinion. I'm the Rob, and I'll be back with another video review here shortly.